the question from BSA member. I got stuck on day 3. My environment has a lot of clutter and it's overwhelming. When I start to sort, it seems to create more mess or disorder, and I can fall into collapse and leave it there. This creates an ongoing story and finding it hard to move out of that feedback loop. Yeah, totally. All right, so the idea here is it's overwhelming. So as far as day 3 goes, you're not supposed to be doing anything yet. All right, so it can absolutely be overwhelming. So if you're following the day structure, it has day 3 is simply watch the video and to journal about, circle, highlight, or the safety words. But as far as day 3 goes, you don't need to be like doing anything as far as like manipulating your environment quite yet. Okay, so then day 4 is watch lesson 2. Day 5, because I don't think, yep. And then day 5 is spend a few moments in every room of your home. So it's like it's slowly building up toward actually doing something. And then, okay, then day 6 is where you're supposed to go to the room that you choose as the safest or the space and do a couple of things. Now, the goal here is it has to be manageable, okay? So for day 6, it says clean up any obvious clutter like papers, crumbs, and stuff on the floor. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to organize your tax paperwork, okay? That doesn't mean that you're putting up new decorations in the space. Like none of that should be happening quite yet at all. Like really simple. So like obvious things. And when I say, for me, obvious might be different than your obvious. So for me, these are things that are like, oh, this would drive me nuts. And I want to, get rid of those before I set up my environment. So for you, there might be something else that you have to address. So maybe I could put here instead is, what's the biggest danger cue? What's the biggest passive danger cue in that environment? And then to adjust that. So BSA member says, got it. That is eye-opening. I notice I have anticipatory overwhelm a lot. Yeah. So none of this ideally should be overwhelming. I tried to space it out to where I didn't think it'd be overwhelming. And as little pieces at a time. So try and just follow the daily structure. And if you have to space it out more, that's fine. If you can do every other day, whatever, that's completely fine. So for this step, which is day 6, what's the most obvious thing that you can address? Yeah, so I'm really encouraging you to not be organizing, not yet, not sorting. These could be things you do later on, but like let me show you right now what I have in my space over here. So this would be my little safety space that I do go to do some meditation or reflection or whatever. So as you can see, there is some obvious clutter right there, right? Or what feels to me like clutter. There's a computer on the floor, and there's a magazine over there. Not huge deals, not a huge deal, right? There's a bunch of stuff on that chair, and that's just kind of like where I dump stuff off when I come home from work. I just dump my stuff on that chair. Yeah, so not huge deals, but if I really wanted to truly feel relaxed and more calm, I guess, that stuff would bug me, and those are obvious things in that space that I could like tidy up and put away. I have a place where I could put those therapy magazines. There's a sticker sheet for Apple. I love Apple products, and I have a sticker I'm saving for I don't know what, but it's just sitting there. I could easily find a spot for that. The computer has a home. I could put all these things in the closet. I just use them so often I leave it there and I grab it. So not a huge deal, but these are minor things that I could adjust. There's a couple of small weights. I could put those somewhere else. Just little things, okay? Now, if I wanted to go even further, that would just be like the immediate space there. If I wanted to go even further and really set up the environment more, I could change all the junk I have on that one chair. I can move that stuff off, put it away, tidy up. If I wanted to go even further, I'm not going to show you it, but there's a desk with a whole bunch of stuff on it. Just papers and documents and probably some tax stuff and probably some city water bills and whatnot. So there's a whole other desk with a computer on it that is just like house stuff that my wife and I deal with or ignore for a while. So all that could be tidied up. And if I did that, that would probably really kind of set the stage here for me and feel like, oh, okay, cool. There's a dog gate that used to be out there. Now it's in here because somebody came over and I wanted to get out of the way and I never put it back or put it in the garage. So those are easy things that are mild irritations, not a big deal. Mild irritations that I could address right away and to help create more of the space this is intended to be, which is like this calm, relaxed kind of office space. That's what I recommend is what are the biggest irritations maybe, instead of all the organization and all of the tidy and all the documenting tax stuff into filing cabinets. I keep saying that because that's something that drives us nuts. Putting all the insurance paperwork in filing cab, like that might be too much for now. So keep it simple. What's the most annoying thing that you can address right away? And maybe that's crumbs. Maybe that's stuff on the floor. I have a book on the floor right next to me. So maybe there's just obvious things like that that just like it's easy. You have a place to put it away. So that would be for day 6, and beyond that, you don't need to go any further than that by day 6. As the course continues, the environment you'll be prompted to do things that are a little more challenging, little by little throughout the 30 days. So you don't have to have your environment mastered by day 6 or by day 3. By day 30, that's where you'll be prompted, throughout the 30 days to address the environment in a little bit more complex ways each time. So by day 30, it should be, more to what you want. I'm not expecting it to be, on the cover of Good Housekeeping or something like that. It doesn't have to be on the next cover of some design internal or some home design catalog or whatever. That's not the point. But by day 30, it should be all those other pieces might start to be addressed as much as you can handle. And then what you can do is if you finish it, you can start all over and go back to day 30 or day 1 and revisit the environment and say, okay, what are the most obvious things that I can address, and then do it all over again in a way. Hey, thank you for watching this clip from one of my open office hours. This is something that I do once a month for people who've signed up for one of my courses. If you're interested in joining a course and joining me on the next open office hour, go to my website. It is justinlmft.com. This and other content I create is not therapy, not intended to be therapy or be a replacement for therapy. Nothing in this creates or indicates a therapeutic relationship. Please consult with your therapist or seek for one in your area if you are experiencing mental health symptoms. Nothing should be understood to be specific life advice. It is for educational and entertainment purposes only.